Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I was reading an interview that was conducted with Michael Pollan. Michael Pollan is an author of The Omnivore's Dilemma as well as In Defense of Food, two excellent books, and I guess he has a new book coming out. And in the interview he made a comment about gluten and celiac disease, which at first I got a little insulted by. But then I thought about it a bit more, and I saw the validity in what he was saying. So he correctly noted that gluten intolerance, including both celiac disease and gluten sensitivity, are on the rise, and that was correct. And he also stated that the increase of food products of the gluten-free variety kind of outweighed the prevalence, if you will, of gluten intolerance in the society. So I didn't agree with that at first, although then I started to think about the fact that gluten-free foods have been increasing on a trajectory that's amazing. I think we're in our 8th+ year of the gluten-free products on the rise of about 20% a year. Those facts are not exactly crystal clear, I mean not exactly accurate, but it's a huge increase. It's been the largest growing aspect of the food industry. I do know that's correct, but the exact percentage I'm not exactly certain about. But it's been on a huge rise for a very long period of time, and the thing that struck me after I initially said, no, he doesn't know what he's talking about, is the fact that a lot of the gluten-free products that are on the market are a bit junk food, and I don't like that, because whether it's gluten-free or gluten-containing, it's not good for you if it's very refined and has a lot of sugar. So I definitely love the fact that being gluten intolerant, I can go to a grocery store and get some goodies. But my point is this: it's not really what we want to live on. Yeah, it's your birthday or it's a holiday and you want something yummy, and it's got to be gluten-free and hopefully dairy-free as well. There's plenty out there, and I think that's terrific. But we do run into the problem with patients thinking as long as it's gluten-free, it's good for me. So it's certainly true on one aspect, because it's gluten-free, and that's the biggest thing they're trying to avoid, but it doesn't make it a health food if it's a dessert or a cupcake or, you know, things like that. So my message is this, and this is something that Michael Pollan says in his books, which is eat food, not much, mostly plants. And what he talks about with eating food is eating real food. So that's not refined, it doesn't have a ton of sugar, it's very close to its native state. When he says not much, it's because a lot of us overeat, which is why obesity, one of the reasons obesity is so high in our country. What he recommends, and I completely agree, is to eat until you're about 80% full. And you might say, is there a gauge? Can I stick something in my stomach to find out when I'm 80% full? It's really about eating slowly enough that you can stop when you're no longer really hungry, because the satiation, or your body knowing it's satisfied, takes about 20 minutes after you eat to get to your head. So if you gobble or inhale your food, it's very easy to overeat. If you eat slowly, chew, converse with others, really dine instead of gobble, you'll find that you'll eat less because you'll feel full, and you'll get that satisfied full feeling, and you'll stop eating sooner if you eat slowly enough. So 20 minutes can sound like a long time for those who consume food in about 3 minutes, but that's what he means by 80% full and then stop, because you'll find that you'll be completely satisfied with that, but not that over full feeling of I ate too much, which a lot of Americans state. And lastly, eat mostly plants. I do agree with that. The phytonutrients and antioxidants found in organic fruits and vegetables are so amazing in detoxifying and anti-inflammatory, helping prevent disease. So you can get organic produce in this country, thankfully still, but you can't really get an organic animal, because you are what you eat and the animal is what it ate. And in this country it's pretty hard to control what our animals are being fed. So the moral of this little post is that I would like you to focus on eating more real food. If you're gluten-free and you occasionally indulge in a goodie, totally fine. It's what you do the majority of the time that counts. But if all you're doing is, starting the morning with waffles and then having some sort of white gluten-free bread as a sandwich, and then at night you're having cookies or cupcakes or things like that, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to be gluten-free, which is an important first step if you're gluten intolerant, granted. But we need to go that next step, because we really need to have an overall healthy body, an overall healthy small intestine, and we're not going to get that from over-refined foods. So I hope you found this informative, and until next time, I wish you very good health.